Senator Christopher Bonggo is recognized.
Mr. President, I rise on a matter of personal and collective privilege. Will not be entertaining questions after my speech, as I believe this would just prevent us from tackling other urgent and important matters. On March 24, we passed the Bayanihan to Heal as one act to empower the government in responding to the COVID-19 crisis. Now, we will be passing the Bayanihan to Recover as one act, or Bayanihan 2. But there are still commitments in the previous law that until now have not been acted upon. It was revealed during the plenary deliberations last Tuesday that the benefits for health workers have not been provided yet. 32 na ang namatay na health workers, ilang daan na ang nagkasakit, ilang libong pamilya ang apektado. Pahirapan nyo pa dahil sa matagal na proseso ng pagbibigay ng serbisyo. Bakit po nangyari ito? Dumaan ang Abril, dumaan ang Mayo, ngayon Hunyo na. Hanggang ngayon, di pa naibibigay ang benepisyo na dapat matanggap ng ating health workers o ng kanilang mga pamilyang naulila. Ang ating mga medical frontliners, ang mga bayani sa laban nito, sila po ang nagsasakripisyo, nagpapakamatay para iligtas ang buhay ng kapwa nating Pilipino. Pero simpleng benepisyo na nasa batas, hindi man lang mabigyan ng tamang oras o atensyon ng ating mga opisyal para ayusin at may pamahagi sa kanila. As chair of the Committee on Health and your former colleague in the executive, I have always been supportive of our government agencies. I have also been firm in defending your budget. Nagkasama tayo noon at nagtiwala ako sa kakayahan ninyo. Pero gaya ng sabi ko noon pa man, kung may nakikita akong mali, magsasalita ako. Kapag tungkol sa serbisyo at trabaho para sa tao ang pinag-uusapan, magsasalita ako. The President has been very clear against red tape. In fact, he has firmly stated that within 42 to 72 hours, all papers should have been acted upon. Ibig sabihin, huwag patagalin, huwag patulugin sa lamesa. Ito, 2 buwan na po, wala pa rin. Bakit matagal? O sadya bang pinapatagal? O wala bang gumagalaw sa inyo? Ang Pangulo na rin mismo ang nagsabi na dapat magbigyan ng karapatang suporta ang ating mga health workers at ang kanilang mga pamilya. Huwag natin hayaan na mabaliwala ang sakripisyo nila dahil lang sa mabagal na bureaucracy. Mr. President, I am also dismayed by the conflicting statements of the DBM and the Department of Health. Kailangan daw ng guidelines bago ilabas ang pera. Sabi naman ng DOH, hindi na kailangan. Hoy, DBM, DOH, pati na rin po ang DOLE. Mag-usap-usap naman kayo at mag-coordinate kayo sa isa't isa. Marahil hindi po alam ng Pangulo. Patay-patayan kayo. Ngayon, na-expose na sa publiko ang problema. Mag-i-issue kayo ng joint issuance para implement ang isang bagay na noon pa ninyo dapat ginawa. Kung kailan kayo sinabihan, doon pa ninyo ginagawa yung guidelines. Kung kailan kayo pinuna, doon lang ninyo tatawagan ang mga pamilyang naulila ng frontliners na sinakripisyo ang kanilang buhay para sa bayan. Hindi naman po siguro kayo mga bata na kailangan pagpagsabihan kung anong dapat gawin o anong mga tama. Sa mga undersecretaries, assistant secretaries, down to the director, dyan sa mga opisina, dapat tulungan nyo naman po ang inyong mga secretaries. Hindi nila kaya mag-isa sa panahon ngayon. Gumising naman kayo. Nagtutulog-tulogan ba kayo? O nagpapatay-patayan kayo? O talagang patay na kayo? Kulang ang salapi para bayaran ang kabayanihan nila. Serbisyong maayos lang naman pwede nating maisukli sa mga nagtatrabaho para sa bayan. Kung ayaw nyo magtrabaho, di umalis na kayo. Ginagawa na nga ng Pangulo ang lahat. Yung mga tao sa baba, ayaw tumulong, ayaw gumalaw. Umalis na kayo. Ganito ba talaga ang burokrasya? Namatayan na nga, pinapahirapan pa. Dapat nga ihatid ninyo agad ang cheque sa pamilya, mismo sa bahay nila. iabot ninyo dun. Masasayang lang ang oras ninyo sa pagsagot ng mga batikos, kung kaya sana ay gumalaw na lang kayo sa lalong madaling panahon. Wala na yung programang Hoy Gising, pero hoy, missing naman kayo. Our health workers are doing one of the most difficult and dangerous jobs against an unseen enemy. A sickness until now has no cure. They have paid the ultimate price, their lives, so that the rest of our countrymen and women will continue to live. Huwag naman sana kung kayo kaya ang mamatayan at pahirapan pa sa pagbigay ng tulong sa inyo, tulad ng ginagawa ninyo sa mga Pilipinong apektado. Ewan ko na lang kung hindi kayo mamatay sa sama ng loob. As the chair of the Senate Committee on Health and as a member of the Joint Congressional Oversight Committee on the implementation of the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act, I call upon the concerned agencies to remedy this immediately and release the rightful compensation for and have been as provided by law. Thank you.
The minority floor leader would like to be recognized, Mr. President.
Thank you. Yes, Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Minority Leader. For the record, let me extend my commendation and congratulations to the gentleman from Davao for that very expression of concern for the welfare of our frontliners. However, I would like to make it a record and probably have put a parliamentary inquiry on the record. As we said, we commend the gentleman from Davao for his taking the privileged hour to call the attention of the bureaucracy on this neglect on our frontliners. But the good gentleman has said he will not take questions. That is the privilege of the gentleman from Davao because he has the floor. And he can always take the position that he will not take questions. We recognize that, and that is the privilege. However, I just want to place a record that prior to this Congress, there was no such practice of not accepting or not allowing interpellation. And because historically and by tradition, the Senate has always been known to be the arena where the policies of the national governments are debated, either through law or through resolutions or through privileged speeches. And that is when theories are tested, when policies are debated, when in the effort to come up with a better policy. And as I would repeat, it is the privilege of the gentleman from Davao not to take questions on interpellation. And under our rules, the parliamentary rules, we could not do anything. I just want to know, however, if this is the new normal that we have, Mr. President, not allowing interpellations on the floor in an effort to thrash out policies and strengthen the positions that we would take on national issues. I'm placing that on the floor, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
Yes, as you well mentioned, it is the prerogative of the senator. But indeed, it was never the practice to not entertain any questions or interpellation anytime you stand on the floor or anytime you rise or take the floor. It happened before once or twice. Senator Miriam Defensor, he didn't want us to interpellate her during the RH debates. I remember that, Senator Enrile and I. But usually, the practice is that when you rise, you you have to answer the questions or you have to allow yourself to be interpolated. Perhaps it will be the gentleman from Davao will be well advised to next time. Anyway, he has a very good point that he should allow it. Although, as you said, we cannot force anyone to yield the floor to anyone when he rises. Unfortunately, Minority Leader.
Senator Cayetano.
Mr. President, Senator Cayetano would like to be recognized.
Senator Pia Cayetano is recognized.
President, I just want to add to your recollection of our history on RH. I think Senator Miriam, if she did do that, I can't really recall. It's probably because alam niyang ando naman ako para sumagot nung nagtatanong po kayo. Kasi naalala ko naghati kami dun sa work, and then if you recall, she was focusing on remember, I believe the good senator had a master's or a PhD in theology. So she was lecturing us about Catholic doctrine, and so I think she didn't want to be interpolated on that. If I were just to add to the our walking down memory lane.
Yes, and I do recall that it's not that she did not want to or she was not capable of answering our answers. No. She just refused to talk to Senator really. That's how I recall it. And she was giving me a smirk at times. So, but we take it in stride. We're veteran legislators here. Sometimes we raise our voices to each other, especially in the 9th and 10th, 11th Congress. We shout at each other on the floor, but after the gavel is banged, we even hug each other and are friendly. And I just recall that indeed, in the records, it shows that there were times.
And
We do understand the point of then Senator Miriam.
yes,
We do understand also the point of Senator DRILON. But that is the prerogative of Senator Bongo.
we do recognize this, the prerogative, Mr. President.
Mr. President, Senator DRILON, and then afterwards Senator Bongo.
Yes.
Mr. President, I'd like to reply.
We premised our parliamentary inquiry precisely on that it is the privilege of the one who has the floor not to take questions on the period of interpellation. And that is why the Senate President has, cited the case of Senator Defensor. The only one that he could cite in his 20 or more years of service in the Senate. And that was a peculiar circumstance because either, if I recall correctly, it may be that Senator Miriam was already suffering from an ailment at that time and did not want to be burdened with additional questions from the likes of Senator Enrile and the Senate President then. But I'm just putting it on the floor as I recognize parliamentary rules. I recognize privileges of a senator on the floor, and we do not question that. We just want to know if this is now the new normal in this Congress.
I don't think it is. Definitely not.
Okay.
Mr. President, may we recognize Senator Bongo to
Senator Bongo is recognized.
Mr. President, the observation of the minority floor leader is well noted. Thank you very much for the reminder. But it depends on the issue, Mr. President, if I'm willing to be interpellated. Itong issue na ito, it's my privilege. And siguro kung baka matatagalan tayo, maubos yung oras natin dito. Remember that we are colleagues here. We are elected by the people and we are all senators. I am not your student and you are not my proctor. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, before we, yes, Mr. President, I hope that Senator Bongo is listening. It's just that we're actually very appreciative of the fact that he now recognizes the shortcomings of the DOH. I can recall that we had asked, it was an approved Senate resolution asking for the leadership change in the DOH. You know, they have good undersecretaries, they have good assistant secretaries. Leadership is what is giving them direction, Mr. President. And I can clearly recall that the President of the Republic, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, had promised the families of the dead doctors and nurses na bibigyan sila ng tag-1 milyon dito sa bagong Bayanihan 1 to Hilas 1 Act. So it's possible that the President doesn't know this. It's possible, hindi niya alam na hindi pa na pala nabibigyan itong mga pamilyang ito. And I'm so happy to read in all the online papers today the releases and the statements of our Senate President. Senate President Soto had come out asking also what had happened to the funds. Our group also, Senator Angara, Nancy, Sherwin, Joel, Villanueva, and myself came out with a letter asking the DOH also to release the funds the soonest possible time. So I'm happy that, and our other colleagues had also come up with comments. Senator Ralph Recto also came out with a comment. It was in the newspapers I read earlier this morning. So I'm happy that our dear friend from Davao, Senator Bongo, has seen these shortcomings. And I hope he can whisper to the powers that be that maybe it is time to act even further rather than having a blind eye, so that in the next few months, whether there's a second wave or a third wave, or there's a decline in COVID-19, and therefore we will be doing cleanup operations and more general quarantine, that the DOH has inspired leadership, has renewed leadership, Mr. President. Kasi katulad yan, simpleng bagay lamang, hindi nila maibibigay. E namatay na po itong mga bayani ito, na matagal na naghihintay mga pamilya nila ng konting ayuda. So I'm happy that Senator Bongo today pointed it out. Being from the cabinet himself once upon a time, maybe he can now exert more effort to the President to show him that may kakulungan nga, Mr. President, na nangyayari. Mr. President, I believe Senator Francis Tolentino would like to also ask a parliamentary inquiry. He messaged me.
Just to cap off the issue, the minority leader was asking for the floor.
Yes. Senator Frank, I would like to recognize the minority floor leader if he still wants the floor.
No, I think the responses given by the Senate President is indeed in order, and our parliamentary inquiry has been responded.
All right, thank you. And, as a matter of fact, for the record, as early as yesterday, I personally sent a very strongly worded letter to the Department of Health concerning that.